Welcome along to Inside Starts Park with myself, Graeme Kilgour. I'm joined by Chief Executive Andrew Barrowman. We're going to be heading through Starts Park to give you guys an insight and a look around to see what's been happening around the ground from the summer. Andrew, it's been an exciting time on the pitch as well as off the pitch, but a lot of work's been going on, hasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's not stopped really. It feels like it's been going on for 12 months, 14 months now. But yeah, it's important we keep moving forward off the pitch just as much as it is important to move forward on the pitch.
And of course, for everybody who comes to Starts Park, sits in the stands and everything like that, gets to see what's happening on the pitch, very few people will actually be aware of all the work that's been going on at Starts Park over the last 12, 14 months.
Yeah, it's maybe something we take for granted. We're here every day, we're in it every day, we're talking about it, we're making decisions on it, but it's maybe something that we should communicate better with the fans and just to let them see it, because it is exciting, it's moving their club forward, so it's something that we probably have to be better in communicating and letting people just see the amount of work and the good work that's going on daily basis.
Well, let's go and see what's been happening then.
Okay, let's go.
So here we are in the football operations office, brand spanking new. Now this place, Andrew, just used to be old brickwork storage from an 100-year-old stand. The transformation's incredible. How important has it been to get this office set up for the football operations team?
Yeah, I mean, it's been critical. It was something we identified really early on. I think previously the staff were all sort of dotted around the stadium, 2 or 3 working in one lounge, another working in another lounge. It wasn't conducive to sort of what we need from a football department. You can see the difference now. It's a great space to work in every day. It's encouraging a lot more communication in terms of between the staff. You can wander in here at any given time, and Robbie's here with the goalkeepers, or Neil's here with the back four, and before they were all huddled around a laptop, and it just wasn't conducive. So it's a proper working environment and a high performance working environment.
Well, you talked about it at the start of last season when we saw the changes made to the changing room facilities and the football operations area through in the main area of the main stand. For having this section here, it's all about raising standards, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. That's it. That's what we talk about from a football perspective, but also from as a football club, away from what people see on the pitch day to day in training or on a weekend. It's about raising the standards. I keep talking about being a Premiership club before we're in the Premiership, and little things like this all help us achieve where we want to get to.
And we've got head of performance here, Bill Orr. He's working away on the laptop. Bill, how big a difference has this been for yourself, having this space from this time last year as well?
Massively. We've got loads of things happening out with football, so we've got scouting and data and everything, but it gives us a place to plan everything. It's also much better as all the coaches being together, because we can spitball ideas a little bit more effectively. And again, Andrew touched on it with the unit meetings. We've actually got a place to do unit meetings and really work through the analysis of the previous week and what's coming.
The place is really tidy. I know that John Potter's a stickler for making sure everything's tidy, but who would you say sharing this office, who's the messiest?
Probably Mac, because he loves accessories. So for his desk, there's about 100 accessories on his desk.
Brilliant. Well, you've got this nice big TV screen, you've got the boards on the wall, you've got the tactics boards here. It must make a huge difference for everybody, and hopefully we'll start to see that fruition on the park as well. Cheers, Bill. I'll let you get back to your work. Cheers. Right, so this room here, Andrew, is currently being converted into the new laundry room, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so as part of the new commercial hospitality lounge, we had to relocate the current laundry, so the idea is to move it across here again, just kind of bringing that football environment into the same undercroft of the main stand, having everything together. It just helps the working day and help logistically how the staff members go about their job every day. And
of course, like we've said it already, but working in a 100 or over 100-year-old stand, they sort of finding any kind of nook and cranny to fit and utilise is so important. So how did this come about to find this space?
Yeah, so this used to be the ground staff's little bothy. They used to sit in here, have their lunch and have a cup of tea and whatnot and get warm when it was the winter. People keep saying we don't have space in Starts Park or the main stand, and yes, we're limited, but we've just tried to make best use of the space that we do have, and I think we've made a few really important wins, and this space is probably the biggest of them all in terms of what you see here now and what we've been able to achieve from this space.
And of course, a little Brucey bonus was, I believe, during the sort of process of knocking this through, there was a wall here, it got knocked in, and we kind of found an old toilet that used to be in the main stand, which suddenly opened this space right up into creating even more. So that must have been a nice little bonus.
It was, yes. I mean, obviously on the plans we knew there was a space here. It was a really lucky find, to be honest. There was something on the wall in the staff offices, which is just through the wall there. There was something on the wall, so we took the plaque off the wall, and there was a missing brick. So we've just sort of had a poke through and had a look through the missing brick. And realised that's a bigger space than we first thought. So we opened it up, and obviously, as you can see, it's a fair space, and this will bring Simon and the kit room in here alongside the laundry. So obviously they're working closely together between Linda and Simon and John every day. So this is an important space that everything's together, and again, it just makes everything more efficient and smoother on a day-to-day basis.
And from a logistical point of view, we are literally next door to the football operations office. We're across the corridor now from the new gym facility, which is right next door to the home changing room where all the boys are. So all of a sudden, everything's now in a nice alignment, isn't it?
Yeah, everything flows. Again, you can come up with plans, you can come up with ideas, but what's really important is it works on a day-to-day basis. And I think we've now got a setup, we've now got a layout that really does work. It flows in terms of even being on ground level. So Simon, when he's returning from an away game, can come straight up with the van. The skips, the hampers can come straight in all the way into the laundry on a ground level. So yeah, it's really important. It's little small changes, but believe me, it makes a huge difference on a day-to-day basis to these member of staff, and it allows them to get on with their job and do it to the maximum of their abilities.
Brilliant. Well, can't wait to see what we've got to see to look at next.
Yep, let's go.
Of course, Andrew, this was the area last summer that was getting totally redone up. And for people who have been in here before and familiar with the surroundings, this area here used to be the old boardroom, which is now the away changing room.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, when we came in, as I say, we prioritised the football environment. We've prioritised particularly a match day in terms of just being exclusive to the players and staff from both sets of teams, in fairness. So we wanted to kind of move everything down this end, as I've touched on already. Part of that was removing the boardroom from this area and moving it to a different area to make sure that there was no crossover on the match day and just keeping everything, again, that high performance.
And as part of the next phase was obviously you guys needed a boardroom as well, so you were sort of struggling in the tight little 2711 lounge, which was next door to the tea room, which has now all been knocked through, and we're going to have a wee look to see what the new boardroom is currently taking shape as.
Yeah, it's a bit of a difference, yeah.
Well, let's go and have a wee look at that then. Still a lot of work to be done, I'd imagine, but you can already see the space. I mean, to think that half of this room was split, this area being the tea room and the other half being the old 2711 lounge, it's incredible to see the space that you've been able to create.
Yeah, we took down a wall. As you say, it was two rooms, two kind of smaller rooms. But you could see we got a bit lucky again with the wall not being load bearing, so we were able to do it without any real difficulties. But you can see it's created an amazing space, and you can already sort of feel the size and what the potential we can do. Yeah, it's a boardroom. Yeah, it's used on a match day, but it's the usage out with a match day. This space, this can be used for the community use. It can be used for all different things. We can book events in here. So these are all things that, again, it's part of the wider commercial strategy, that we have spaces that we can monetize and utilise out with a match day.
And we've talked about it already before with what was the work that was done last year, and the work that's continuing is there are other people visiting Starts Park quite regularly, and if they see, as from a visitor's point of view, whether they're part of an opposition team or part of just a guest of somebody, and they see what's been happening here, it really does let them show that Raith Rovers are a team that are wanting to prove the standards and move them higher. Yeah,
absolutely. We've had enough notable examples of that from sort of players, but probably the most notable one is the manager, Neil Collins. He came across here a couple of weeks ago under darkness to see the place, and we sneaked him in here one Wednesday night, and he seen what was happening. He seen the work, he seen the facilities that the staff had to work in every day, and that's what probably got Neil over the line in terms of, because he got a feel for the club, he got a feel for the ambition and what we're trying to achieve. So it's really, really important that we continue to bring this place up to standard, and just create that environment that people want to be a part of.
I remember when the new board of directors came into Starts Park for the very first time, when you were doing your interviews and speaking to the press, one of the big things you were saying is, we're doers, we're not talkers. And I think when you look around Starts Park, you really see that the action that's happened, not just on the park, but off the pitch. So being able to see things like this today really does prove that. Yeah,
I mean, again, you sometimes forget just how far we've come because you're here, and as I say, you're in it, you're on that hamster's wheel every day. You can almost take it for granted, the work that's been done, but it really is. I mean, I don't see another club, especially in Scotland, but anywhere in the UK, that's doing the amount of work that we're kind of doing off the pitch and bringing it up to standards. So there's lots more to do. We're still not at the end of that sort of journey, but yeah, we like to get things done, and I think the work that's going on the last year and a bit has sort of proved that, yeah.
And you've mentioned future works that's ongoing that will be starting as well as the stuff that's happening now. But you've already mentioned about the extra hospitality lounge that's getting built very soon after this phase. I think they've already started ripping part of Starts Park out now, haven't they?
Yeah, it started now. Unfortunately, it's probably not an area that's safe for us to go in with a camera and a couple of mics. But yeah, they've started it now. It's a lot of the early work is sort of ripping out and knocking down walls. It's going to be one big open plan space. So it's underway, and hopefully it shouldn't be too long before it's finished either in the coming months.
Brilliant. Well, let's go outside and have a look and see how long this cladding's going to be done. Have you finished? Looking forward to seeing that.
Absolutely, yes. It's been a long drawn out one, but I think the results, we can see it even at this stage. I think it's going to be worth the wait.
Brilliant. And now we're at the bit where everyone can see what's going on, Andrew, with all this cladding and signage going up. It's taken a bit of time, but I tell you what, the place is looking magnificent, isn't it?
It is, yes. You're right, it has taken a lot of time, longer than we'd have liked. Structural engineers, council, planning permission, all that sort of played its factor. But yeah, again, I've said before, it's probably the most exciting change I think we'll make, because people will see it. It's the first thing, as soon as they turn that corner on Pratt Street, they'll see. It's right there in their face. It's impactful. It's not just to our supporters, to visiting supporters and just the local community. So yeah, I'm really excited about it. It's been a long time in the making, but it'll be worth it.
And of course, like the work that's been going on here at Starts Park, what we can see with the cladding and things, this is bigger work that we've ever seen at Starts Park since the place was redone in the mid-90s.
Yeah, it is, yeah. And again, I reiterate, I don't think there's many clubs out there that are sort of doing this type of work and this volume of work in such a short space of time. But I think it needed it. I think it's fair to say the stand and the stadium needed a bit of TLC, and that's what we've tried to do. And yeah, we've moved at a fair pace, but again, it's probably just symbolic of kind of who we are as people.
And you've got this massive sign here. We're expecting to see another sign going up there, Raith Rovers Football Club. We've also got the LED screen further down, which we saw for welcoming the new manager, Neil Collins, to Starts Park for the first time. It really is quite an exciting time, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's going to look great, but again, you touched on the screen, but these are things that's important commercially to us. It's important that we monetize that space as well. So it's all exciting stuff, and it's going to look great, and I just can't wait till it's finished. We're a few days away now, and barring any mishaps, then we should be finished by middle of next week, and everyone will be able to see what we've kind of been going on about and planning for a long time.
Brilliant. I can't wait to see it. Thanks very much for your time, Andrew. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Graeme. Cheers.
Cheers.